Hello everyone. Well, the next 4 issues of the Dalek build are here. I have been asked to actually show some more of the actual building of the pieces, so that's what I'm going to try to do today. So we are on to issue number 10, so let's get into it. Alright, so here on issue number 7, we are going to be putting the next plate onto the dome of the Dalek, and we are going to finish up the second light. So go ahead and get this attached into place. And then this is going to get screwed into place with the AM screws. So now that plate is in place, and now it's time to go ahead and assemble the light. So we're going to go ahead and get the clear piece in, so that slides into place. And then our light goes in. And then this will get held into place with 2 screws. There's the second light, and that is the end of issue 7. So now on to step number 8, we are putting in the light onto the right-hand side. Got another panel to put onto the left-hand side. So to set this up, just like we did with the first one, wire's going to go on in, and we need to get these holes lined up into their positions. Right there. So make sure the wire is not being pinched. So that's looking good. And we can now insert the Allen head screws. Okay, the second light is in place. Now it's time to go ahead and add in the next back plate. So just as before, this is going to slide right on into its socket pieces, sliding in the top section first, and then drop that down into place. And once again, we'll get the screws into place. We've got 3 screws to attach. So that's all 3 screws attached. We now have the front side of the Dalek head now completed. So here in issue number 9, one of the things they want us to do is to take off the brackets that we put on to attach the lower ring to the upper part of the dome, and then add in 2 washers. And the text that's here is a little confusing. Position 2 washers on each of the 2 raised screw sockets where part 3H was fitted. So is it placing 2 washers onto each of the 2 raised sockets, or is it taking 2 washers and put onto each of the 2 raised screw sockets? So 1 onto each. So trying just 1, certainly didn't notice any difference, and we now have 2 positioned in place. So we're now going to go ahead and get the bracket put into place. So in this case, chosen to go ahead and read that as putting 2 washers onto each. And considering that 8 washers were provided, that makes some amount of sense. And then this is going to get repeated on the other side. So next step is to go ahead and put on the next metal plate. This is actually going to cover the entire back of the dome, and then we'll just have the top section left to close. Not quite sure what this little rectangular area is going to be used for, but we'll find out soon. So next, let me go ahead and get the panel into place. And with that, issue number 9 is now complete. Okay, so this is issue number 10, the final one for this month. We've got the last section of the dome, so it looks like it's just going to be covering the opening in the top of the plastic part of the dome. We've got a cover, we've got a spring, we've got 2 bearings. So the first thing we're actually going to be doing is on the interior. The eye stock has been just sort of floating in here. So we're going to add in the bearings, one on each side of the post. This will allow this to move a lot nicer. And drop that right back into place, and that already moves much better. The spring is going to drop into this hole and also connect onto this post on the back. So that's always going to push that towards the top. So that's going to give the motor that's going to move this around a little bit of resistance. And then finally this cover is going into place. And we have it positioned this way around. Set that down, and we are screwing that into place. And there we go. So if I flip this over, that now stays more suspended and doesn't flop around. That's really nice. So the next part and the last step here for this month is to set the top plate into place. And we're going to screw that down. I really thought this opening was going to be used potentially for some of the remote control aspects of this, maybe like the like an infrared sensor location or something like that. But looks like I'm not correct on that thought. Now with that, all right, that spring does not want to just stay in. Might have to glue that into place, we'll see. But with that, we have the exterior of the Dalek head dome complete. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next month.